Hey everyone, Taco here and I hope you're doing well. And in this video, we'll be talking about Puerto Madryn, the port of call that I had on my 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard the Celebrity Eclipse. If you haven't already, I invite you to see my full review of that 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard the Celebrity Eclipse right here. And I will have additional videos on each of my other port of calls as well. So let's begin. The 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard Celebrity Eclipse has 4 ports of calls: Ushuaia, Argentina, Port Stanley, Falkland Islands, Puerto Madryn, Argentina, and Montevideo, Uruguay. After leaving Buenos Aires, Argentina, we had traveled south for 3 full sea days before arriving through the Beagle Channel and to Ushuaia, Argentina. From Ushuaia, we went further south, cruising through the South Shetland Islands and the Antarctica Peninsula, and then we skirted back up north. Originally, our next port of call would have been Port Stanley, Falkland Islands. However, due to inclement weather, we had to skip that port, unfortunately, and go straight to the next port of call, which was Puerto Madryn, Argentina. We arrived at Puerto Madryn, Argentina a day earlier than planned, which means we had an extra day to take in the sights and sounds of Puerto Madryn or take an extra excursion. So we decided to splurge on an additional excursion on the day of arrival. Since the ship was docked overnight, the gangway was left open all night long. And that means we didn't have to go back anytime that night, and this allowed us to enjoy a late night dinner on the coast of Puerto Madryn after our excursion on the first day. With a population of over 120,000, Puerto Madryn is situated in the northern part of Patagonia. It boasts several sandy beaches along the shoreline, and being shielded by the nearby Gulf is a hotspot for wildlife year-round. That first day in Puerto Madryn, we arrived around 12 o'clock noon, and we signed up for an excursion to Peninsula Valdes, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1999. The coastline is teeming with wildlife, ranging from sightings of southern right whales, elephant seals and sea lions, penguins, and other birds, but what you see will highly depend on when you go. In February, we hope to see some Magellanic penguins and their offspring, some sea lions and elephant seals. While I don't think we ever saw any elephant seals, and if we did, they were so far away that we couldn't even identify them. But we did see a small number of Magellanic penguins that made up for this trip overall. The Peninsula Valdes excursion is a 6 to 7 hour tour departing from the pier at Puerto Madryn. We signed up for this excursion directly from Celebrity Cruises, and their tour was operated by Furlong Incoming. Because we signed up directly from Celebrity Cruises, our bus picked us up directly from the gangway itself, so we did not have to make that long trek along the pier to the parking lot where all the other tour companies started their tours. From the pier, it takes approximately 2.5 hours to get to the peninsula. The first half is paved, but the second half actually takes you on unpaved gravel roads. Be mindful of the fact that these buses are not completely sealed, so lots of dust from the outside will come into the bus as you drive through the gravel roads. You may want to wear a mask or cover your mouth if you are sensitive to dust. Upon entering the peninsula, you will have to pay an entrance fee if it's not already included in your tour package. Shortly thereafter, we stopped at the visitor center, which has some great information on the various wildlife and fauna that you might see in that part of the area. There is a bathroom here, as well as a lookout located just outside the building that lets you see all around the barren landscape. Our tour had 3 scheduled stops, the first one being the Penguin Lookout, second one the Caleta Valdez for sea lions and elephant seals, and the third one Parador La Elvira. Each stop was pretty brief, allowing us approximately 20 to 30 minutes to see any wildlife in the area. While we were able to see them, they were all very far away, except for the Magellanic penguins. At Caleta Valdez, there's a short boardwalk from the parking area to the lookout. It was extremely windy since you're on the edge of a cliff. But upon further inspection of a land area very far away, we noticed a group of sea lions, or at least we believed them to be. I don't even think I brought out my 180 to 600mm lens because everything was so far and it was so very windy. At Parador La Elvira, we hiked the pathway to go to the edge of the cliffside, letting us see a clearer view of the northern peninsula. It was a beautiful landscape to take in, albeit very windy as well. We looked around and found a sole penguin coming out of the ocean and walking up the sandy dune. There were also sea lions perched on the beach, but I don't know if they were alive, as they didn't move a single inch or centimeter during the time that we were there. Our final stop was the Penguin Lookout, and they really did save the best for last. A short walk from the bus to the boardwalk and you're able to see the Magellanic penguins right in front of you. They were so cute. For the most part, they didn't really do much other than preen themselves. Some just stayed in their burrows and that's about all. But I could have stayed there for much longer, as it was amazing to be so close to them, to see the details of their feathers and faces. They were just so very adorable. And you can appreciate the finer details in their face and body. This stop was definitely the highlight of the entire excursion. After the penguins, it was time to go back to the pier, another 2.5-hour drive back, and we came back around 9 o'clock in the evening. This excursion was a lot of sitting in the bus. The driving alone took more than 5 hours round trip, and while seeing the sights of Peninsula Valdes was special in its own right, I wished we had more time in each location to appreciate the specific areas. The wildlife that we were hoping to see, they were also very far away, that many did not have an impact on me. The saving grace of this excursion was the Magellanic penguins that we were able to see right in front of us. I heard other cruise passengers went on another excursion where they were able to see Magellanic penguins on the beach directly right in front of them as well. Perhaps that may have been a more interesting excursion. And that's it for this excursion. Have you been to Puerto Madryn before? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and let me know if you have any questions as well. Now, don't forget that you can read all of this on my blog at www.smaku.com with a boatload of pictures. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to watch my video on the full review of the 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard the Celebrity Eclipse. And I do have my other videos on all the other port of calls that I did during this cruise as well. Thanks for watching my video. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.